Hi everyone and welcome back to Bolton Fan TV podcast. I'm back with Tyler as always, and today is it's going to be a very controversial one. I think it's, again, as most of our discussions do, it's going to be a 50-50 split. But following the Tranmere game, I know, painful subject, but we've got to talk about it. The referees, absolutely horrendous, to say the least. First of all,
joke of a
joke of a referee. What are your thoughts on that whole situation?
He should never be a referee ever again, or should go back to where he started and get more experience before managing, even refereeing a League 2 game or League 1 game. Under 23's ref does a League 2 game. The two favourites to go up back to League 1, he's refereeing that and gets so many mistakes wrong.
I mean, I completely agree. Under 23's referee, how on earth he's managed to whittle his way into a few of pretty big games, to be fair. But one of the more controversial things, besides what actually happened in the game, was, obviously Bolton fans were, raging. Don't blame them. I think rightly so. A lot of people jumped on social media trying to find, this guy's accounts. And someone actually found his Facebook account.
Yeah.
And from the pictures, it would appear he is a Tranmere fan.
No, he actually is a Tranmere fan. He actually is.
How has the FA allowed someone that supports one of the teams to referee a game? It doesn't make any sense.
Stupid.
It's. I mean, one bit of good news that came out of it was Ian Evatt wasn't going to be punished for his red card, which, I mean, Jesus, that's a whole different situation. That was after the game, and it all went off. Let's break it down. What?
Do you know we're still waiting for the Delaney red card because he's gone for that as well. Evatt.
Was he? I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
But
he's gone for it.
Yeah, let's break it down by, what happened. We're not necessarily going to be talking about the performance of us. I wanted to do this, talk about the referees, because I do think, below to be fair, even the Premier League needs better referees. Obviously, the Premier League has VAR. I know it's a very controversial system, but I do think it helps, but I also think it doesn't in ways. But at the very minimum, Championship and below needs better referees. And this isn't me just being like, oh yeah, we've had one bad encounter with a referee. I've been saying this since Bolton were last in the Championship, because it's quite frankly ridiculous. We have been cost games. This season alone, we've had two incidents that spring to mind. Earlier in the season, we get a goal disallowed because of apparent handball that the linesman gave, not the referee. And then obviously
the Colchester game as well.
I don't remember what happened in that game, but sure, I'll take your word for it.
The second goal, the guy were behind our defenders, and then referee said he's not offside. And
And 3 incidences in one season. That's a joke. That's far too many than what should be happening. And okay, without the assistance of VAR, I understand, but at the same time, referees have been doing this for however many years before VAR. So why is there all of a sudden becoming more mistakes, especially against Bolton? Obviously, I'm not saying that just like, oh yeah, we're hard done by, please feel sorry for us. But at the end of the day, it seems like I'll be honest, I know I don't keep up with League 2 a lot, besides Bolton, but from what it seems to be only our games that were having some sort of issue, whether it be, obviously, performances is half of it, but then, the Tranmere game was a very crucial game, and we've lost because of the referees. I mean, realistically, it probably should have ended in a draw, 1-1, in my opinion. but it didn't, simply because of the referee. You know, we get Delaney sent off for one, trying to block a shot, and two, winning a header, and then their player doesn't get sent off for spearing Sarcevic when he's clear through. It doesn't make any sense. I don't understand what went through that ref's head.
Or the guy doesn't get booked because he fell on Delaney, hurting Delaney a bit, not even a card. He's like, nope, straight a pen. But this annoyed me. The ref pointed for a corner. The linesman also pointed for the corner. 5 seconds later, nope, penalty.
And I want to pick up on something that Ian Evatt said. He said it quite cautiously, but also outright, because obviously he still was at the Tranmere ground when he said this. But according to Evatt, there was Tranmere players getting in the referee's ear, which I'd say it matches up.
They should get booked for them.
Yeah, but I mean, the ref listened to him, so why would he? Yeah, I mean, it matches up. Like, the evidence is there, I'd say. With Ian Evatt saying, like his red card, for example, he went over and basically got, like, if you watch the clip as well, Evatt, all he's doing is walking over, and the ref's already reached for his pocket. Like,
yeah, it looks like he's speaking to him nicely.
He's already like, no, he's like, right, I'm getting ready for this, and then brings out the yellow. Like, no, I'm sorry, but if I'm in Evatt's shoes, I'd back Evatt 100% to blooming have a go at the ref, because he's had a terrible game. Like, right, let's actually break it down, what happened. So, there was the red card that wasn't a red card / should have been a red card, whatever you want to call it. I mean, first of all, it's the first 3 minutes that goal goes in, We're already like, oh no, great, here we go again. We're going to get battered 3-0 by Tranmere again. Again, though, it does go back to that, we need to start games better, which we do. And, then the whole blooming onslaught of the referee started. It seemed like we were all over them for the majority of that game, bar the first 3 minutes. Yeah. We probably could have easily won that. But, but we'll never do it the easy way. So we should have at least gotten a draw. And we didn't. Now, I'll be honest, I haven't looked at the highlights. So I can't bring myself to watch them.
I've watched them.
So I don't actually know what order the incidents happened. But I know what the incidents were. So, yeah, I mean, I'm guessing what order they go in, kind of.
Yeah, the penalties in the second, say about first 5 minutes into the second half.
Yeah,
Delaney gets sent off.
That penalty's a joke, Like, you even see, I've seen clips on Twitter, but I haven't watched the full highlights. Delaney literally blocks the shot, and the ref points at the corner flag, and then because all the Tranmere players getting in his ear are like, oh no, that's a pen. So he's just like, oh, favourite club, sack it, it's a pen. Which is wrong for a start.
He blocks a shot really well and then gets dragged down by the Tranmere player who's on top of Delaney. Penalty.
No, it doesn't make any sense. I mean, also as well, by the way, anyone listening, watching, this isn't us, like I said earlier, it's not us begging for sympathy. Like, oh, look at us, we got screwed over. It's like, we've just got to move on now. But at the same time, I did want to talk about, referees in general. Just because, well, I feel like I kind of have to at this point. Something needs to be done about it, realistically. Whether it be even as simple as adding, I don't know what you do to apply to be a referee, but in my head, it's, like a questionnaire kind of thing. Like, I don't know. Even if it's like asking when you go for the interview or whatever, what team do you support? And then avoid letting them referee that game, because then it's just going to sway it. I mean, prime example, literally Bolton versus Tranmere. The guy appears to have reffed a Tranmere game before. I don't know if Tranmere won that or what, but I think it was actually playoff finals in National League, if I'm not mistaken. That's what I read somewhere. I don't know how true that is. And then, he comes to blooming ref Tranmere again, and it's against one of Tranmere's biggest rivals, and we get, well, stiffed,
Yep.
to put it nicely. Yeah, so obviously that penalty probably wasn't a penalty, shouldn't have been a penalty, never was. Sticking with Delaney, what do you reckon about the header then?
I don't really know.
Because, I mean, from what I've seen, 50-50 for me. Okay, he's stuck his arm out. But I've seen multiple players do that, whether it be in the Premier League, Championship, or League One. They very rarely get booked for it unless it is a clear, I'm going to elbow you in the face. Like, if they're actually jumping for the ball, they very rarely get booked for it. So I don't understand. Well, I do understand why Delaney got booked for it, because the ref was on their side. But it just doesn't make any sense, Like, I'm pretty sure as well they even clashed heads, because hasn't Delaney got didn't he end up having the bandage around his head?
Yeah.
So he's won the header, but got sent off. It doesn't make sense. Like, I mean, it is what it is. We can't change it. But yeah, like I said, the one good thing we got out of this was that Everett wasn't going to miss a game, which was supposed to be the Mansfield game, which got called off due to a frozen pitch. Yeah. So our next game is Leyton Orient. It's going to be a very tough game. Extremely tough game. Let's just hope referees are a bit more, down the middle rather than on their side. Also, as well, an interesting point I want to bring up is, had it been on, let's say, for example, the Tranmere game, let's say the referee was more biased towards us, what would you do in that situation?
I don't really know.
I mean, we take the points, but I don't know. I'd like to sit here and say I'd be like, oh no, that's wrong. We shouldn't have the points. But realistically, I don't think Bolton fans would pipe up.
They are our rivals, so I would take the points off them.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I don't think I've seen many Tranmere fans acknowledge the referee, to be honest, which...
I've seen about 5 people.
5 people. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I mean, just Tranmere fans in general. I avoided Twitter after that, realistically. Even though, 2 days after, I've still seen clips and whatever, but... Yeah. So, the Leyton Orient game. I don't remember what the score... Did we lose to them last time?
We got battered.
We lost to them last time. So, I mean, do you see it changing on, tomorrow?
Yeah, my prediction's going to be a 2-2 draw. Because we can score, but we can let goals in, and we have the fight to get a draw. That's why I'm going for a draw.
Again, though, it goes back to that whole thing of, we have to... That first 5 minutes is key for us. If we start that game badly and concede, chances are the best we're getting out of it is a draw. I mean, we've seen it countless times this season, Barrow game, prime example, a 3-3 because the first, 20 minutes that game, we were horrendous.
They were 3-0 up.
We were awful. But then, like Tyler's just said, we have that fighting spirit, We're not going to lie down for anyone, even though we kind of did for Leyton Orient, but that's not the point. We will fight as much as physically possible to at least get a point, which is a good trait to have in a team, but it's not one you should be relying on. As in, I've said it on the Once and Never Out podcast, and I think I've mentioned it on this podcast. I just do believe that, we are going out with that mentality of let's hope to get something out of this game. Rather than being like, we want the 3 points or we need the 3 points. They're just going out there and hoping for something to happen, Also as well, no Sars for 3 to 4 weeks. He is out with a groin injury. I'm sure everybody has seen by now. Kieran Lee should be back though. He's been in training. But Everett did say that it was a doubt that he'd start tomorrow or even play tomorrow. Just because I don't think he's fully fit. But also as well, let's go back to transfers. We're still in January. You know, we're on 29th. We've got a couple of days left. Everett has said that, you know, he's expecting a busy couple of days. Apparently this deal's close. Don't really know who. But apparently, we've got at least maybe 2-3 players potentially coming in. Don't quote me on that, but Everett did say that he's close to agreeing a few things. So look forward to see who they are.
I'd take another striker though, for just in case someone gets injured.
Yeah, but I mean, do we need that just because, you know, I mean, Doyle, Delfonso and Arthur, like...
Yeah, but where's Miller?
Oh yeah, he's supposed to be back as well, by the way.
I'll say, where's he been?
Yeah, he's supposed to be back. He's had a few injuries, to be fair. But yeah, we've got him back as well. So, you know, I don't think we need a new striker. The main thing I want out of this transfer window is a keeper. Yeah. Just because, you know, Gilks, I'm not blaming him for recent results, but because I do think the defence, I mean, all season hasn't been great. Our whole team hasn't been great, really. But I mean, the whole goalkeeper situation. How long, really, can we keep Krellin on the bench? You know? I'm just hoping that if we don't get a keeper, either Gilks can really, you know, step it up a bit and, you know, play week in, week out, which he's not doing a bad job, in my opinion. Yeah. But, you know, results just haven't gone our way. See, it's not even like... This is where my issue lies, because obviously, I mean, I think I said it on the podcast as well, like, earlier in the season, I think me and Tyler both said that we weren't that bothered about the cups. You know, we were more bothered about the league. But now is where I kind of wish we were still in at least one cup, just so we could give Krellin a game to be like, you know, go out, give it your all, and prove that you deserve to be in that starting 11. Which, don't get me wrong, I've got nothing personal against Krellin, you know.
Neither.
I think he definitely can be a very good goalkeeper, you know, if he just sticks at it, you know, keeps developing, keeps going out on loan spells. Because the signs were there that he was going to be a very good keeper for us. However, he did kind of forget the basics a little bit. The one game that springs to mind was when he just kept fumbling it to their strikers, you know, like easy catches. He misses the ball.
Newport. That was Newport.
Exactly. And then, like, yeah, I mean, we end up losing the game just because he forgot the basics. And, you know, I do personally think Everett gave him too many chances. But, yeah, I think if we had have brought Gilks in sooner into that starting 11, I think we may have picked up a few more points. Yeah. But it is what it is. You know, I admire Everett, by the way. You know, given, like, he sticks with players until he's had enough. As in, like, look at the Krellin situation. A lot of fans were wanting him out of that starting 11 within 3 weeks, you know? You know, I do think Krellin could potentially get back into the starting 11, even if it's a rotation, you know? Yeah. Like maybe 1 week have Gilks in, then the next maybe try Krellin, just to keep them both match fit.
Even if it's like a midweek game, say like Gilks at the weekend and then try Krellin in midweek and then rotate it. Yeah. Gilks in midweek, then say Krellin at weekend.
And obviously the issue is, you know, if we do have Krellin in there, is he going to cost us more points? That's the big thing on every Bolton fan's mind. Like, if we take that chance, are we going to lose more points?
I hope not.
I mean, obviously, I hope not. But yeah, I don't think Gilks can do this for much longer, playing week in, week out, if I'm honest.
No.
I don't think he can I don't know. To be fair, he may prove us all wrong, and I hope he does by, you know, maybe doing a full season. But it's just unneeded, really. We brought him in primarily as a coach, which obviously if he's playing, he's the one being coached. But yeah, I mean, the whole deal with what's he called? Summit Bishop? Is it Nathan Bishop?
Nathan Bishop.
Yeah, that's all gone quiet. It's basically dead right now.
I think he's going to somewhere. He's going on loan somewhere, so he's not. Don't think he might be coming to us. Don't quote me on that.
I mean, you never know, really. One thing as well, we have apparently are expecting an outgoing, which is a youngster, Regan Riley. He's apparently on his way to Norwich. Which, you know what? Fair enough. Okay, we probably could have potentially gotten a bit more money for him because he's a very good player. But 250k,
yeah,
still
250,
helps,
yeah.
you know. But it's a big opportunity for him. Going to Norwich. Norwich are in the Championship, right?
Top of the Championship.
Yeah, top of the Championship. That'll be a very good test for him, I think. It'll give him a very good chance to develop as well. I look forward to seeing what he does in his career. I think he's a very talented player, for sure. I know he hasn't played a lot for us, but when he has, he looks like a very good player. So
he played in one of the friendlies, and he looked an absolute baller.
And then, so I wish Regan Riley all the best going to Norwich. What else is there? I think I've covered all the news.
Can I talk about something?
Go for it.
One person that has been now loaned back out, which has really annoyed me.
Oh.
Luton Kioso is now at Northampton Town on loan for the end of the season. Where Luton fans said, or the manager said, we've taken him back from Bolton to put him in the squad. Not done that.
That's...
I'm annoyed at that.
I mean, obviously, this isn't like anything to do with Kioso. He's just literally doing what he's been told, pretty much. I do obviously wish him well because Kioso put in so much effort for us. Bagged us a couple of goals. He is literally the definition of a baller. He was amazing, quite frankly. But yeah, that actually brings up another interesting thing to talk about. Like, when doing loan deals, do you not think there should be some sort of clause in that, they've got a, if you're going to recall them from a club that you loaned them out to, then you probably shouldn't be allowed to loan them straight back out. There should be a period where they're either playing for you or they're not. Because
it should be like. Go on.
Because we've lost out on a very key player when the Luton boss literally told us, he said in interviews, I have no intention of recalling Kioso. And then a couple of months after, bang, Kioso's gone. Which, to be honest, it depends on his reasoning. Like, if he'd recalled Kioso because of injuries and he needed him back, then that's fair enough. I understand it.
I would have taken that.
But the fact that he's literally brought him back just to loan him out to League One, obviously, okay, League One, Northampton are doing better than Bolton, but at the same time, you sent him out on loan to us. We should at least we've gotten him for half the season pretty much, but
yeah,
I think we definitely would have benefited from him in the second half of the season. But yeah, so what do you think about that then? Do you think there should be a period of time where
there should be a clause to say, right, we'll give you this amount of time to see how he does well in your side, say, like what Kioso did from September to January. Then we'll evaluate for a few days. If we don't think he's doing well at your club, we'll take him back, give him a few trials in the squad at ours. If not, we'll loan him back out. Not just right, we'll take him back, day later. Bye, Kioso, Northampton.
Yeah, it all happened very quick. I don't even think he'd managed to step foot back in Luton. He was probably in the car and swerved around and started driving to Northampton. But, Nothing against Kyoso. Absolute baller. Amazing player. I hope he does well in League One because, if he's not being started at Luton, then Jesus Christ, Luton are making a massive mistake there. Like, holy. Like, the amount of quality he'd actually bring to Luton is ridiculous. Like, he's mental. It'd probably take them to the next level. Yeah. Let's go back to the Leyton Orient game. Obviously, that is tomorrow. We've had now, a week? No, we've not. A week since our last game, pretty much. So, yeah, obviously, we were supposed to have the Mansfield game, as we said earlier, but that got postponed. So, you said, did you say 2-2 draw?
Yeah, it's a 2-2 draw.
I don't know, I reckon, like, I've said this multiple times, football's weird right now. It's very odd.
Anything can happen.
Literally anything. So either we go there and we fight for a draw, or we go there and get battered. That's the two scenarios I see. I don't think we'll go there and dominate them. Possession-wise, we might, which we have been doing to teams, well, the whole season pretty much. But I just don't see us getting 3 points tomorrow. Obviously, I want to be as positive as possible, but there's only so much you can take being a Bolton fan. There comes a point where even you have to step back and be like, no, you know what? It's like, look at the promotion talks, at the start of the season. Everybody jumped at that opportunity, and now we're all getting stick for it. And it's like, okay, maybe we probably jumped the gun a bit, but, new manager, you're going to get all that hype. I reckon it's going to be, I'm saying a 2-0 loss. I know I just said I want to be positive, but I just don't see us.
That's why I've had people say I'm the more positive one on this podcast.
I mean, you are, because I just don't put on left, right, and centre. I mean, I'm 17, and I don't think I've witnessed that many good moments as a Bolton fan, realistically. I remember the main one. The main one that springs to mind is us staying up in the Championship.
Yeah, the Forest one,
2017. Like, that was gas. But other than that, I don't really remember anything. Obviously, being born in 2003.
Yeah.
So I kind of saw the end of Bolton in the Premier League, but not really, because I wasn't really keeping up with Bolton then. But there was one thing I want to talk about then. All the criticism of Ever, not like just Ever Outers, but all the criticism he gets from pretty much everyone. I mean, me and Tyler have both said this numerous times, and we'll keep saying it. Ever is here for the long run. So, in fact, I'll quote what I put on the BWFC Fan TV Instagram. I literally said, right, if you're saying Ever out, save your breath. Simply because he's here for the long run. Your opinion of Ever is not going to change the fact that he's here for the long run. And no matter how much you say it, he's still going to be here. So get used to it. Obviously,
there is one Instagram page that does my head in when it comes to Ever Outers. You should know who I'm on about.
I do.
BWFC Vision.
Like, obviously, I understand, right? By the way, this isn't like causing beef or anything. So, Vision, if you're watching this, it's not beef. It's just, we have different opinions. That's it.
Yeah.
And I mean, the whole Ever Out stuff is, in my opinion, ridiculous because, everyone keeps going back to his time at Barrow. He was there for 2 years at a National League side.
Gone back-to-back promotion.
Exactly. Like, back-to-back promotion. And obviously, we're already in League Two. So if you take that away, he's basically, next year is probably going to be a more key year if we don't get playoffs. Or if we don't win the playoffs. See, that's the only concern as well for me, is if we do get playoffs? Are we actually going to win the playoffs? That's the only thing.
Yeah.
Because obviously, not being consistent. I apologise for the squeaky chair then. But that is going to be an even more stressful period of time if we do get playoffs, and that is just going to be. I don't think I'd be able to even look at the blooming scores. I just wait till it's all. I'd curl up in a ball and wait till it's all over. That's what I'd do, because my God, I cannot take that amount of stress. Yeah,
I'd watch it, but I'd turn blind eyes when watching it.
It'd be like watching them in England in the World Cup again on penalties. Yeah. That's what it'd be like. But yeah, let's go back to transfers a bit. I know this podcast has been all over the place, but it's fine. That's what you get with us at this point. Is there anyone in particular you'd like to see come in, not just position-wise, but like actual players?
Not really, but I'd take two more like one signings to just in case someone else gets injured, and say like Sars. I know we've got Kieran Lee, Conway, and Crawford. We'll have to get. I think we need to get someone else as well from that certain position to either come on when they're like injured, say in the first 15 minutes or something.
Also, as well, what about Arthur? Do you reckon he deserves to be starting more?
Yeah, I think he does.
I agree. I think, for sure, because
as soon as he comes on, game changes.
You're not wrong. Like, he literally against Tranmere, he did. Like, didn't he come on and like almost score straight away? I know he sliced it.
Yeah, he got the assist for, was it Doyle?
I think it was, yeah. Yeah, I mean, Delfonso, that's another interesting topic. What do you reckon's happening? Like, I think when I was last on Once and Never Out podcast, we did discuss this quite extensively. It could be 15 billion different reasons, but what do you reckon it is?
I don't know, because he has had experience in different leagues, but I'm not saying this is like going to be a downfall to him. It is a new league for him, unless he's been in this league before, which I don't know. I don't think, like going back to the Doyle thing, I don't think he's getting too much balls played to him and chances wise. That's what I think's going wrong with him.
I mean, I agree, obviously, but at the same time, I don't know. It's a different situation, isn't it? Really, between Doyle and Delfonso, because Doyle's still getting played. It might be just because of last season, top goal scorer. If you're not playing him, what you doing, kind of thing. But with Delfonso, obviously, he's got a lot on his plate. He's had a kid. He's still got to perform week in, week out. He's probably knackered because of the blooming late nights or early mornings. That's
especially
not just getting up for training. That's like his kid as well. I don't think this is going to like break him in a sense. Like, I reckon he'll definitely bounce back from it and start being more consistent. But until that happens, I think we may need to give him a break. Like maybe not include him on the bench even. Like maybe give him 2 weeks or so. So because I don't think we'll miss out. Like, no disrespect to Delfonso, but I don't think we'll miss out on him right now. Simply because, we've got Miller back, and obviously Arthur, he's in banging form at the minute. So I don't think we'd struggle too much, at least not any more than what we kind of currently are. But yeah, I mean, I think we've covered everything. I know it was only supposed to be on the refs. Go on.
What do you think about the formation he's playing now? 4-4-3-3. What do you think of that, Ever?
It's better.
Is it a decent one? Or?
I do think it's better than at the start of the season, in my opinion. Just because, at the start of the season, we were saying how we would like wingers. After the first few games, we'd like wingers, especially when Politic comes back. Because, honestly, we are missing out big time with Politic being out.
True, but that El Eddie, he's been
He looks like
He's
a
been-
very good
yeah.
player, for sure. I think he just needs a bit more time to settle in, and then I think he'll hit a run of form, and I think, we may start getting more points, hopefully, and completely switch our season around, which is what I'm hoping to happen anyway. But yeah, I think it's definitely better, because even though we are doing still our choreographed routine that we spoke about last time, from the back to the wingers into the middle shoot. That's the only, I do think 4-3-3 is better for us, but it just depends, doesn't it, really? It depends on the game and what players you have available, and injuries, stuff like that. So I think for now, it's definitely good. Also, as well, Ian Evatt with his tactics, bro. Everyone's giving him stick, saying like, "Oh, he's only got one tactic and stuff." Or at least I've seen a few people, and I don't agree. I think his tactics are pretty solid, if you ask me. He came in, said what he wanted to do, and he's done it. We are playing attacking football. Okay, admittedly, our defence probably could be better, but I don't know. I do think his tactics are, I wouldn't say spot on, because obviously if they were spot on, we'd be winning every game. But, in games, he's doing a lot of shouting, which is good. I think that's the main reason Jilks is in there as well, because he yells at that defence, but it doesn't seem to be getting through. I think the only thing Everett could probably ask more of the players from, besides, obviously consistency, is press from the front. Because that Salford game, honestly, that's some of the best football I've seen Bolton play in a while. Doyle with a high press, the defenders couldn't cope with it. And I think
Jones with them through balls, they were confusing defences.
And then, if we push from the front, I reckon obviously it's not happened, so, but we would be getting more points and we would have more points, I reckon. So I think that's the only thing I'd say, maybe bring that back a bit. But other than that, he's pretty spot on with tactics and stuff. It's just players aren't necessarily doing, what they've learned on the training pitch, but at the same time, they're not listening to Everett during a game. So, I think that is a good place to end it. Yeah. We've spoken about it a lot. I know that was probably a lot of information to digest, but So Leyton Orient tomorrow should be a good game, I hope. Hopefully we get a win, but like I said, I reckon 2-0 loss. Tyler said 2-2 draw. Remember as well, we are now on YouTube, so if you are watching this, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. Comment down below your score predictions as well. If you're listening on Spotify, Apple Music, whatever else, Apple Podcasts, not Apple Music, same thing. Then be sure to leave us a review and a 5-star rating. This has been Bolton Fan TV podcast, the Bolton Fan TV podcast. I was still getting used to this after the new year, guys, all right? Give me a few more weeks. Thank you for listening, watching, and we will see you next Friday. Goodbye.